Hey guys, what's going on? Mike the Caveman Q here again from Paleo Problem Long Island and MikeTheCaveman.com. And today's question is, what can we do about epilepsy? Now, before we get started on the question, allow me to please beseech all of you to share with me a moment of silence for those lost on September 11th. Now, it's 15 years ago, and it always affected me to an extent, but this year it took on personal significance because, as many of you know, unfortunately my father Henry passed away this year, and he was an emergency worker as a gas mechanic, making sure that things didn't continue to blow up down to ground zero, and unfortunately he lost his life. So, while fortunately not one of those who lost their lives that tragic day, we got 15 more years with him, it's still a reminder of the terrible things that happened. So please, just going to give a second. Alright, so back to what we're talking about today. What can we do about epilepsy? So epilepsy is a condition characterized by multiple seizures over a period of time. Unfortunately, the medications for are not always successful. There is a 60% success rate for the first medication. After that, there's a precipitous drop-off to 30% on the second medication. If the second medication fails, it drops down to single digits. So we are looking at terrible odds. So what happens to the rest of them? Well, fortunately, that's when we start to actually look at the lifestyle factors. So there's something called the ketogenic diet. You may have heard me talk about it before. It was originally developed for epilepsy. As we've talked about many times before, we've known since the days of Hippocrates that fasting can reduce or possibly even eliminate seizures. So the ketogenic diet was developed in the 20s as a means of mimicking the metabolic and physiological effects of fasting without the unfortunate side effect of fasting too long, death. It was experimented with and it saw incredible amounts of success. Unfortunately, shortly thereafter, the first anticonvulsant drugs were developed. And as we know, most people want to just take two and call me in the morning. They don't want to go through all the necessary steps. But either way, it should still be the frontline therapy. On individuals who have failed on the anticonvulsant medications, there is still greater than 50% success rates on the ketogenic diet, meaning the worst of the worst cases of epilepsy still do well on the ketogenic diet. But what can we do about the difficulty of it? Well, fortunately, like we've talked about a couple times now, there are now exogenous ketones. So you can get the benefits of circulating ketones without having to be as restrictive in your diet. Now, is it a replacement for the diet? Absolutely not. But it is a supplement to it. And particularly in epilepsy, it can have tremendous therapeutic benefit. The next thing that's seen incredible results in mitigating the effects of epilepsy is CBD oil. We've talked about that a bunch before too. While the ketogenic diet exerts a lot of its effects through the change of substrate metabolism, so from carbohydrates to ketones, they both exert anti-inflammatory effects and reductions in oxidative stress, so they scavenge free radicals. They both also have roles in helping to regulate amino acid and neurotransmitter status, which will help with calming of those seizures. Next big thing, of course, is, wait for it, the gut. There is an incredible link between epilepsy and autoimmune conditions. The two of them are incredibly comorbid. They are linked together. The reason being, the gut-brain axis. Talked about that before too. Like we've said, our gut is something like our second brain. The interlink between the two is super important in regulating seizures. So, if we're trying to work on seizures, particularly hard to manage ones, those are the three biggest things we want to look at. We want to look at getting in ketones, either through diet or supplementation. If you want to learn more about that, take a look over here. Next one we want to look at is CBD oil. If you want to learn more about that, take a look over here. Now, after that, like we said, we want to deal with our gut, all that stuff we always talk about, deal with the autoimmunity, deal with the gut-brain axis. So we're looking at gelatin, bone broth, the spores, vibrenza, all that fun stuff to help bring down inflammation. If you want to learn more about that, take a look at here, our video on the gut-brain axis. So there are a lot of incredible things we can look at regarding combating epilepsy, and a lot of it is things we've talked about before. So be sure to check out those other videos over there, and we'll put the links in the description as well. But either way, focus on your gut, focus on your brain. Hopefully that helped you out. You know what to do. Like and subscribe all the way down below. Share it with your friends. Head over to Instagram and Twitter. Follow me over at Mike the Caveman. Over on Facebook at Paleo Problem Long Island. And of course over at MikeTheCaveman.com. That being said, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take those measures to help out with those seizures. And I'll see you tomorrow.